Hello, my AI aficionados. You've probably heard now the news that Sam Altman will not be returning to OpenAI. Greg Brockman will not be returning to AI. They have been snapped up by none other than, drumroll, Microsoft. It was posted on the 19th of November around 11:55 p.m. Nadella on the Microsoft blog. It says, "We remain committed to our partnership with OpenAI and have confidence in our product roadmap, our ability to continue to innovate with everything we've announced at Microsoft Ignite, and in continuing to support our customers and partners. We look forward to getting to know Emmett Shear." Wait a minute, who is Emmett Shear? Emmett Shear is this guy who used to be CEO of Twitch. It says in Emmett Shear Twitter, "Today I got a call inviting me to consider a once in a lifetime opportunity to become the interim CEO of OpenAI. After consulting with my family and reflecting on it for just a few hours, I accepted. I had recently resigned from my role as CEO of Twitch due to the birth of my now 9-month-old son. Spending time with him has been every bit as rewarding as I thought it would be, and I was happily avoiding full-time employment. I took this job because I believe that OpenAI is one of the most important companies currently in existence. When the board shared the situation and asked me to take the role, I did not make the decision lightly. Ultimately, I felt that I had the duty to help if I could. I have spent today drinking from the fire hose as much as possible, speaking with the board, a number of major partners, and listening to employees. Our partnership with Microsoft remains strong, and my priority in the coming weeks will be to make sure we continue to serve all our customers well. OpenAI employees are extremely impressive, as you might have guessed, and mission-driven in the extreme, and it's clear that the process and communications around Sam's removal has been handled very badly, which has seriously damaged our trust." You got that right. "I have a 3-point plan for the next 30 days. Hire an independent investigator to dig into the entire process leading up to this point and generate a full report. Continue to speak to as many of our employees and partners, investors, and customers as possible. Take good notes and share the key takeaways. Reform the management and leadership team." You got a lot of work to do there, buddy. "In light of recent departures into an effective force to drive results for our customers." And honestly, knowing any CEO's makeup and mindset, this is a challenge that many would relish. This isn't work. For a CEO, this is fun, for those that have the CEO streak and gene. So I'm not surprised he jumped on this opportunity. I mean, who wouldn't? It says, "Depending on the results, everything we learn from these, I will drive changes in the organization up to and including pushing strongly for significant governance changes if necessary. I'll be rolling these out as they become clear over the next 30-day period. OpenAI's stability and success are too important to allow turmoil to disrupt them like this. I will endeavor to address the key concerns as well, although in many cases I believe it may take longer than a month to achieve true progress. I have nothing but respect for what Sam and the OpenAI team have built. It's not just an incredible research project and software product, but an incredible company. I'm here because I know that, and I want to do everything in my power to protect it and grow it further. It's now 1 a.m. I'll pick this up tomorrow. P.S. I'm posting this here because I think it's in the general public interest to know this case, but please don't expect all future internal communications to come through a public channel. Before I took the job, I checked on the reasoning behind the change. The board did not remove Sam over any specific disagreement on safety. Their reasoning was completely different from all that. Then let us know. I'm not crazy enough to take this job without board support for commercializing our awesome models. Now, I don't want to speculate anymore. I know lots of videos have speculated, but the summary is this. The research team, one of the most powerful research teams in the world, has now departed OpenAI for Microsoft. And we know what Microsoft does with ideas. Not only do they bring solutions, not only do they deal with challenges, not only do they harness the power of creativity, but they have strategy. And one thing I know Satya Nadella is going to do is really maximize the brain power of this team to get the best for not just Microsoft, but I truly believe that the players in this whole story have these ethics concerns as well. So I don't believe all is lost. I think there's going to be a great synergy come in. This is a storm that probably did need to happen to get the best from artificial intelligence and for the world. Now, you may ask the question, why would Satya Nadella want Greg Brockman and Sam Altman on his team? Well, there's several reasons why he would. Think about it like this. These guys are highly respected leaders in the field of AI. They have a proven track record for success, building and leading one of the most innovative companies in this century. Are you kidding? That's why. You see, Brockman and Altman, they've got a deep understanding of the challenges and opportunities. They may not be like Ilya, but they've got the brain power to bring about the best from whatever resources they have. They understand what lies ahead for AI, and they're both passionate about using AI to solve some of the world's most pressing problems. Think about it. It's like saying Wozniak is so great that he doesn't need jobs. Are you kidding? When that little shakeup happened to them with the whole blue box story, and you can Google it, when they created the blue box, and Wozniak said, "I never want to do this again." Well, Jobs said, "Are you crazy? This is an opportunity. We got to go for it." So it takes not just one person who is a great technical mind to make a company succeed. It takes a bunch of people to make the most of that great technical idea. Otherwise, it just falls flat. So ask the question again. What does Microsoft have at stake? Or let's say, what do Microsoft investors have at stake? Well, Microsoft investors have a significant amount of money at stake in the company's success. They are betting that Microsoft will be able to harness the power of AI to develop new products and services that will give the company a competitive edge, and the importance of creating an environment where Sam and Greg are going to be able to thrive and come up with even crazier ideas and innovations and incentives for stakeholders. It's extremely important for Microsoft to create this environment where they can thrive. The plain eye might see Ilya as the dominant force in this entire debacle, but I believe that it's not just him, it's a combination of what he could bring to the table and what everyone else at OpenAI had to do with it. Yes, he's a great mind behind ChatGPT, but as you know, AGI is far beyond ChatGPT. And what a lot of people are failing to realize is that other governments, other companies, other more malicious agents may be ahead of the curve. We just don't know. So let's stop putting all our eggs in one human basket. I truly believe that Edison's discovery may not have germinated the way it did, but if Edison was out of the picture on the 10,000th try, I believe someone else would have continued. And that's the way I see AGI. I do not see Ilya as the be-all, end-all of the whole thing. I just see him as a part of the puzzle. And the entire puzzle will be put together somehow, with him or not, no matter how long it takes. So that is the mindset that I approach this from. It is more important to create an environment where great minds can thrive than to be divisive and to push people out of a firm. And to be quite frank, I don't like how it was handled. I think the board, as I call them, the baby board, that was a terrible way to handle such an important thing. And this means Microsoft understands they can no longer entrust the care of the entire billions of dollars that they're sinking into this board, and that's why the board has been dissolved. So Microsoft has demonstrated its commitment to hiring talent from OpenAI by acquiring the company's AI research team. When you really take a look under the hood, and let's go into Twitter to see a little bit more, because I didn't show you the whole story. There's a lot more behind this. If you go into the Twitter universe, or should I say X universe, or I still call it Twitter, I don't care. But if you take a look at Sam Altman's Twitter and you comb through the posts there, you can see that a lot of people, especially those from OpenAI, have been commenting, and actually it appears that a number of them may actually support Sam's view, and who knows who else will be following. So we have a number of them, as you can see here. I'm not going to mention any of the names. You can see the names for yourself. But ultimately, when we go to Greg's post, let's find Greg's post here. And when you go to Greg's post, you'll find that many other individuals have been noticed in this entire puzzle. So let's go a few steps back, and you can see over here, Greg has mentioned a few of these individuals. Initial leadership more soon. Says we're going to build something new and it will be incredible. And honestly, who builds anything incredible without the power of an incredible team? And the answer is no one. I like a quote from Blanchard, Ken Blanchard. He just says, none of us is as smart as all of us. And nothing is further from the truth. It is absolutely true that if you want to do anything great, you have to build a team behind you, around you. And that is the only way you're going to get to greatness. So when you take a look at this picture, honestly, I see everything with a leadership bend. This is a leadership puzzle. Someone may say, what is the future of OpenAI? Well, you just heard from the new CEO, Amit Shah. He's going to continue to focus on developing safe and beneficial artificial intelligence. However, the company is going to face new challenges without the leadership of Brockman and Altman. And someone might say, wow, that was the shortest that was the shortest stand-in position for a CEO, acting CEO, Mira Murati, who you see behind me. But when you read through the tweets and the cryptic messages, you can find that Mira Murati was on board with what Sam Altman was saying, as far as, none of this would be possible without the great people at OpenAI. Just take a look here really quickly. And she says, OpenAI is nothing without its people. So, before we begin to demonize people, let's investigate more about the story. She seems to be more about the people than anything else. And I'm glad to see that. And honestly, it seems like people just had misdirected passion, misdirected concerns. And if the board was a more mature board and a more leadership aware board, they would not have been as reckless in what they did. So the summary, my friends, is that the future seems to be rather bright. In the context of the technology sector, we know that it's characterized by rapid innovation, particularly in the field of AI. There's so much that has happened. And Microsoft, as a legacy player with deep pockets, billions and billions of dollars, they've already put billions in. They've got the ability to invest very heavily in research and development, almost like no other firm, which is why they're a key partner with OpenAI. However, to maintain a competitive edge, it's not enough to just throw money at problems. The customer needs visionaries who can lead the way, in uncharted territories. And that's why Brockman and Altman being on the Microsoft team, my goodness. I know Google and Apple are probably shaking in their shoes, not to mention all the other little players. But at Microsoft, investors demand growth. And there are a lot of people that have big stakes in Microsoft. So they demand innovation as part of their ROI. And Nadella, understanding this, has to create an environment that doesn't just sustain innovation, but accelerates it. That means not just having the best tools and technologies, but having the best minds. Note, I didn't say the best mind, but the best minds working on them. And in high-stakes AI, having a leading edge can be the difference between setting market trends and then playing catch-up. Can you imagine if Microsoft was not in partnership with OpenAI? They would be miles behind. So having the OpenAI research team, having Brockman with his expertise in AI, being one of the co-founders, he just brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to Microsoft. He's very valuable, and his insights to the technical, and yes, for those who doubted, ethical concerns of AI development, those are invaluable to Microsoft as they navigate this complex world of open modern AI. And Sam Altman, on the other hand, is known for his entrepreneurial spirit, known for his leadership. He is known for putting that whole GUI, putting that whole interface on GPT. If not for that crazy idea to pretty up the interface for GPT, I'm telling you, GPT would still be an unknown. So his role in making AI more accessible, more user-friendly, has been instrumental in the widespread adoption of AI technologies. And his vision for AI is not just about creating advanced technologies, but also about crafting them into tools that can be leveraged by business consumers alike. When we talk about strategic integration, for Nadella, bringing Brockman and Altman in is more than just adding two high-profile names to the roster. He knows this. It's about integrating the pioneering spirit and their drive for excellence into Microsoft's culture. And it's about creating a synergy where strengths are amplified by Microsoft resources and global reach. It is absolutely crazy what these people are going to end up doing. I can see that in the next year, there are going to be some mind-blowing innovations and developments. And if, from what Nadella is saying, they're able to maintain the synergy with OpenAI, my goodness, you almost have a 1,000,000x brain power output from Brockman and Altman coming directly into Microsoft. It's going to be mind-blowing. So for the naysayers who think it won't work, I want you to think again. Nadella's goal is to build a team. that can not only create the best AI, but also understand and shape the way it's used in society. Microsoft has that craving to be the leader, and I do not begrudge them for it. You see, there's been so many unexpected turns and twists in this drama, but don't lose sight of the prize. It's all about leadership. This all boils down to one thing: leadership. My mentor, John Maxwell, he says a true measure of leadership is influence. Microsoft is going to retain that position, that influential position, even more with them having Altman and Brockman on their team. So, the tech industry, it could resemble a fast-paced epic drama with its surprising twists and turns and rivalries. But what happened this weekend, it hasn't been seen in a long time. I think the closest to this was the departure of Jobs and the whole ousting out of him by Scully and the rest, only for him to return like the Phoenix. It's crazy. But this is even crazier because Altman is not returning to OpenAI. It's not the second coming of Sam as some of us thought it would be. It is even more dramatic. You see, so the summary is all these twists and turns, it just signals a change in the balance of power in the AI community. We can see that the balance of power no longer lies with OpenAI. It did lie with OpenAI for a long time, but with the transfer of this brain power, and as I showed you, it's not just Altman and Brockman. You got a number of other players who will be transitioning to Microsoft. With this, it is very clear that the balance of power, honestly, I see it as now being with Microsoft. That's just how I see it. Because OpenAI do not have the upper hand. For Nadella to be as influential as he was, to come in and, as it were, dissolve the board, bring in the consideration for a new CEO, and I don't know how Emmett Shear was brought in, but he is in. For all that change to have happened over one weekend, you know that Nadella is a player. And I got to give him that respect for being able to defuse that bomb, because there were crazy things that would have happened. You already saw how the stock was plummeting, and it's difficult to predict exactly how the addition of Brockman and Altman will change Microsoft, but one thing is evident: their arrival will accelerate Microsoft's AI initiatives, undoubtedly. The company is poised to experience a surge in creativity and vision. Do you know what having one of these guys on your team would do? Just having the team, the wider team at Microsoft, soak in their brilliance, it is going to put thinking on a totally different trajectory, that many answers will end up coming from the greatness that is already at Microsoft as a result of the innovation, the innovative spirit that is going to be birthed as a result of the synergies that these two are going to bring. I like a quote from Jobs. Jobs says, management is making people what you want to do and what you think they should do. And honestly, when I look at the board, I don't begrudge them for wanting to uphold the ethics and the concerns. And that's part of what I'm guessing. Although it hasn't been totally spelled out like that, it was just said Sam wasn't candid. I mean, bring in the candidometer if there's one and find out what candid means on a scale of 1 to 10. But I like the quote from Steve Jobs because he says leadership is inspiring people to do the things they never thought they could. Oh my goodness. The things that people at Microsoft never thought they could. I guarantee you there's going to be an inspiration to do that with the injection of the Altman and the Brockman gene. That's right. It's the Altman and the Brockman gene. So while the brilliance of individual minds like Brockman and Altman is undeniable, Nadella's strategy seems to underscore the importance of collaborative genius. It's a recognition that while individuals can make significant contributions, the most impactful innovations often result from teamwork and the convergence of diverse ideas and skills. Now, Ilya has been really quiet. His Twitter has been like a morgue. We've not gotten a single tweet out of it, But I'm guessing that in the days and the weeks ahead, not everyone is a communicative speed demon. Altman and Brockman, they're all over social media, and that is part of their DNA. But we'll hear from Ilya. Listening and watching what he has done, I have nothing but utmost respect. But I also understand that technical genius in artificial intelligence does not mean genius in emotional intelligence. And I believe that if a little bit more emotional intelligence had been injected into the mix, we would have gotten a much better result from that first meeting that he had had with Sam. In fact, there would have been more transparency. Going behind their backs and letting Mira Murati into the thing the day before, I feel that is just not the way to do things. The way to do things is transparency. When there are clicks, it diminishes the great and it becomes good, or it just becomes stale and bad. So I feel that could have been done differently. But anyway, let's wrap this up and talk about the investors who are always looking for assurance and, well, some sort of insurance that their investment will not go down the tubes. They want that visual, that affirmation. And I believe that the presence of Brockman and Altman at Microsoft, I believe it signals a commitment to staying at the forefront of AI development, and that could have a positive impact on the company and valuation and future profitability. So my concluding thoughts are that as we continue to watch this soap opera unfold, and we're reminded that in the realm of technology, the only constant is change, companies like Microsoft must continually evolve to stay relevant. So by choosing to bring in Brockman and Altman into the fold, Microsoft is not just making a statement. You're not just making a statement about their current capabilities, but it's a trajectory. It's challenges being tackled, its creativity being brought on the scene, its solutions being delivered. I see Nadella's move as a calculated risk, but it's one that could very well define the next era of Microsoft's storied history. Without a doubt, I know that there are many things Altman and Brockman would love to see in the evolution of artificial intelligence that might have been bridled by their stay at OpenAI. Now I believe Microsoft will unleash the beast. Microsoft has a huge track record of being resilient, and all they've done is lived up to their name. Nadella's decision to bring these two gentlemen into the fold is a multifaceted strategy aimed at ensuring Microsoft leadership in AI. It speaks to an understanding that the success of a tech company lies not only in its technologies, but in its people, their visions, and the collaborative culture that enables them to innovate. Let's go back in time and see how this entire structure and the unfolding of this story is very similar to Steve Jobs, but not just in the way that Steve Jobs was ousted from his company and rose like the phoenix and came back, because we can see Altman and Brockman are not coming back to OpenAI in this form. Instead, they will be influential in OpenAI through the partnerships with Microsoft. I also see a very keen similarity between what happened to Jobs and Disney. And I'm talking about Pixar. You know that Jobs acquired Pixar. It wasn't Pixar at the time, but Jobs acquired the company that became Pixar. And Pixar ended up saving Disney because Disney was going down the tubes. Now, while it's not fair to say Microsoft was going down the tubes, they would have become more obsolete. So the acquisition of Pixar by Disney, in my mind, is very similar to the, not acquisition because you can't acquire humans, but the integration of these awesome minds into the fold. It is very similar. And I can predict the same way Disney had home run after home run, by bringing in the Pixar brand, I can see Microsoft having home run after home run by bringing in these two great gentlemen. And not just them. Let's not forget that it's not just Altman and Brockman. We've got a whole host of people. And, I encourage you to go to the Twitterverse and, Xverse, whatever you want to call it. Go there and read up a little bit more about some of these individuals who have been talked about, right, in this whole story. And I'm highlighting their names so that you can go check out who these people are in this entire OpenAI story. So it's not just about Altman and Brockman, it's about a number of other individuals, great individuals in the research team and beyond. And I'm telling you, if things pan out like I think they will, there will be an entire clearing of talent from OpenAI into Microsoft, further cementing the ability of Microsoft to be the number one in artificial intelligence. So, as we AI aficionados watch and as the tech world watches, the impact of this decision, my friends, will unfold over the coming years, potentially setting a new course for AI development and application. Thanks for joining me. I see all of these as sense-making sessions. Just so you know, I'm a power user of GPT. I have used ChatGPT to do a number of things for me that would have typically taken me a full day. It does it for me in minutes. And I can't disclose anymore, but I'm looking forward to GPT-5 because I know once it comes on the scene, I might just create a clone of myself and do nothing. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.